guys. Am I clear now?
Yes. Oh man, now I'm on the bottom. I wanted to be on top.
He's stupid.
Well, actually, I'm okay here. That's good. So, as I was saying, before we welcome on Miss Nadia Bradford, we will talk about the Mr. Olympia very quickly.
Yes, we shall. I mean, I will say this much: it's definitely going to be an interesting one for sure. I mean, the numbers are growing. I think we're like almost double the average of every division going into this year. So, yeah.
It's gonna be tough. Like if because the lineups are so deep, I'm curious to know how they're gonna run the show. So everybody that's going to the Mr. Olympia, if you're competing in the Mr. Olympia, make sure you're prepared to maybe be rushed or maybe not be rushed, because last year there weren't that many athletes, and we had the freedom to be on stage as long as we wanted to be on stage. They didn't rush us at all. But because there's, like you said, almost double, we're 10 weeks out, the tickets are already selling out, the hotels are being booked super fast, so you need to do everything almost now, and athletes need to be prepared now. If they're gonna rush you, you should have a rushed routine ready. Be prepared. It's always best to be over prepared.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, being prepared. The Olympia is a month. It's in the month of December, so it's a week before Christmas. So another thing to also look for. It's going to be more expensive, travel, all that good stuff. So definitely want to make sure that you're getting everything.
And it's back in Vegas too, so that's exciting.
Planet Hollywood this year.
I know. I'm gonna be there regardless, in it or
Orlando,
watching.
Because the cigar smoke and all that stuff was kind of killing me last time, but good things about Planet Hollywood, so I'm definitely excited to see what that venue is going to be like.
Me too. It's gonna be wild. All right, let's welcome on our special guest. I think you have to invite her now.
It's gotta be me.
Oh no! Wait, before the natural figure.
And Weeder Nash.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. So Maud Exactus, if I hear her last name. But congratulations, Maud. She stamped her ticket for this year. So another one to be added to the list of figure for this year as well.
Right.
It was definitely a really, really good lineup. I saw a couple of ladies that I actually personally know. So big shout outs to Flo and Vera. She also got her pro card. So congratulations.
Wow, congratulations. Oh yeah, they also had the Daytona Pro for Masters figure 55, 50, and 45, and all of they were super shredded, like extremely. The Masters ladies are so underrated. I swear, it's ridiculous. And those are the ones that are like you have to watch out for. Like literally, they show up and they show out, and every time they end up in the first call out, and never fails. It almost never fails. So congratulations to those ladies, too, who won the classes of 55, 45, and 50.
Absolutely. I think people just don't take consideration like, yes, okay, they're maybe a little bit older, but what people fail to realize is that's muscle maturity. So that's even better conditioning. And swinging with that conditioning. So
right.
I never count masters out.
Right. And when you're older, you're wiser, and you learn from your mistakes. So the younger ones are still making mistakes like going 85%, 95%. Masters, they already know they have to be 100%. And this is like a real, they're set. Their life is straight. They have kids, they're literally set. So when they get on prep, they're on prep. They're on. There's no in between. And there's, no looking for shortcuts. They literally work their asses off, literally. And it shows.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and invite our special guest. Okay. There she goes.
Hi,
Hey,
Nadia.
How are you?
Hi.
I am well. How are you? Video and sound, all good?
Pretty good so
You
far.
sound good. I
Okay.
feel like I sound good. What about Z?
Do I sound all right?
You're staticky. You're like in
Come
between. I can't
on.
tell. Like you look like you have an Android, bro. I swear. Nadia, doesn't she?
Listen, I have an Android, so
Oh, sorry.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
No offense. I promise. Don't, don't hurt me. I promise. But seriously, though, thank you so much for coming on. We truly, truly appreciate it. I mean, you're a well-known athlete in our division, and me and Z feel the same way about you. You're so well-respected, and top 3 Olympian always. It's crazy. Like I'm literally starstruck because I started following you. I think back in 2018 when you were with Underrated Muscle, and I'm like, you really are underrated. Like you're so underrated because I'm like, why is she not winning? You had everything. It didn't make any sense to me. You kept getting second, and then you finally won. And I'm like, yes, she's in it. Now she's like a threat. And now you're with Shelby Starnes, right?
yeah. Uh-huh. Love working with Shelby, so that's going great.
That's awesome. I mean, I thought, seeing you this year, I think you guys took your conditioning, like it was spot on. It wasn't too shredded. It wasn't soft. Like it was perfect. I think you guys really, really nailed that perfect condition. So it was really good to see you like in person, on stage. It looked great.
Thank you very much. I mean, I love the conditioning aspect of bodybuilding. It's probably because I'm so short, like the size is not going to be my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I love the conditioning portion, almost too much so. So I'll have to be told to like reel it in, because I want
Yeah,
to be super, super shredded, like crazy. So I
yeah,
it's like, rein it in, not no.
right.
I completely get it. Honestly, me personally, I love that threaded field walk anatomy chart. Look,
Mm-hmm.
prefer to look that way, but of course we know
Right.
we can't overdo it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
it's just the criteria, but either way, it's still amazing to look at and see that you can achieve that because we all know how hard it is to get so dry and lean like that. Like you are literally, if anybody wants to know what conditioning looks like, I will pull you up so that they can see. This is what conditioning is. It literally, seriously.
but I have a question for you before we even dab into your whole journey. Why figure?
Okay, well, I do love the division. My heart 100% is with figure. But when I first started competing, I was prepping for a bikini, because at the time my coach was like, you're just getting started. It's your first show. Like, just get in at the beginning where, everyone starts bikini. But from like a personality standpoint, like it just was not for me. Especially like starting out, I didn't have that like confidence or like stage swag, and I couldn't be girly and do hair flips and like
Mm-hmm.
wink, and like I was just so awkward. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like I get it that everyone like bikini is a good starting point, but for my personality, like it's just not gonna work. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I ended up with figure.
Okay.
But I absolutely loved it.
Hey, you gotta go where your heart is drawn to. I always I always tell people that all the time. I have people come up to me and ask, "Oh, what division do you think I should really go in?" And okay, yeah, I can definitely tell by looking at some structure, but I also like to ask, where exactly is your heart?
Yeah.
Like, want to fit in?
All right, that's good though to know that you started in bikini because a lot of people start in bikini. I started in bikini, and it's crazy how we end up, and we're like, how did we even think a little bit with our backs that we could be in bikini? There's no
Like,
way.
I think my prepping for bikini lasted for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and I was like, I cannot do this. Like,
Yeah,
I felt like for me, I just felt ridiculous because it wasn't my
yeah,
personality.
yeah.
And I was like, there's no
Really,
way I'm gonna do good at this sport, feeling as uncomfortable as I feel trying to be a
yes.
bikini girl. So, yeah, scratch that plane real quick.
Right. You literally dipped your foot in the pool and was like, nope, I'm out. Give me a towel right now. Never again. Wow. Okay. That's awesome, though. So, from what I remember, you don't, a lot of people will look at athletes, top athletes, and think they automatically are trainers, personal trainers, or they're posing coaches like me and Z, and we're just in a gym all day long. And we can only be successful as a top pro if we're a trainer or, anything fitness wise. But from what I remember, your profession is not in fitness. Could you
That
tell
is
us a little bit
correct.
about what you do, outside of bodybuilding?
Yeah, so funny you guys talked about it because I just watched. I forgot who you guys were on with, but you were talking about having like working as like being in the gym, having
Mm-hmm.
clients and stuff. And then I was like doing the contrast of it, like work is work, okay?
Right,
um,
right.
So I work in human resources. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a full-time job that I'm at 50, 60 hours a week, depending on the time of year. But yeah, so I do human resources for Target. I haven't been in human resources for 11 years, but I've been with the company for 11 years. Human resources for like the last four or something. But yeah, so that is what I do for majority of my time, and
Mm-hmm.
then
And
time after before work for prep.
and then didn't you just pass a hard exam too? You
Oh my
recently?
gosh.
So you were in school recently too, and you're still prepping, and you're still doing your your regular job. So
Yeah,
it's doable. You're very, very busy, and you're still making it happen.
these, I mean, honestly, this last year has just been insane for me. Like, I got married in October of last year. Like, literally, it was like 2 weeks after the Olympia was our wedding. So, got married, and we also just moved to Dallas, Texas, from St. Louis, Missouri. So that happened within like the last couple months, which obviously meant like working in a new store, having a new building, doing prep because I did Linda Murray's show in July as
Mm-hmm.
well. So prepping for Linda Murray's
Wow.
show, like these last, like I mean, the last 6 months have been insane. But this last year or two has just been like I blinked and the year went.
Right, man.
A lot. That is a
It
lot.
is. I just got
So
anxiety
able to
thinking
get
about
on
it.
stage and still like that's insane. And that's literally saying there's no excuses. You should be able to
Mm-hmm.
do anything, no matter what it is. It's just a matter of how bad you want it, but
Yeah.
you should be able to get through anything and still be able to get on stage and still be successful.
Where did you move from? You moved from where to Dallas?
From St. Louis, Missouri.
Wow. Okay. That is wow. So you literally got married, moved, started prep, and then you're still
Good.
with your new store with your actual profession, not just bodybuilding.
Yep.
We got a question.
Okay.
Good one. Okay, so crazy work ethic. You're, able to do so much and still be able to get on stage. Where is your drive?
Well, I mean, I do kind of think that's just who I am as a individual, in all aspects of my life, not just competing. Like I've been in sports since I was like 7 years old. So, I was always very competitive with sports. I have siblings, so always very competitive with my siblings. Um, it was school, always very competitive with school and like being a straight A student. So it's just for me, no matter what it is that I'm going after, like I want to be the best at it, and like I will fixate on that and doing the things that I need to do. Obviously, like I learn more and grow more as I'm doing these because no one just starts as the best. So
Mm-hmm.
that's also something that I've learned with bodybuilding. Like, now I think about things like sleep and digestion and recovery. When I started, no. Like I was born again eating food, like healthy food.
Yep.
So obviously the
Work
more
out,
I
work
get
out.
into something, right? The like more I know and become more involved in what I'm doing. But that's just my personality with whatever it is I'm doing and how do I get to be the best.
Does your job accept all like your hobby with bodybuilding? Like, do they allow you to eat your meals and stuff, or how do they respond to you when you're on site and you have to do things and you have your food, or you have to say, or do you leave, or like, how do they react? Are they supportive of you?
Oh yeah, my peers, boss, even people who I just like know in like my district or whatever are all so supportive. Like they want updates when I'm at shows, they want pictures. If there's a
Yeah.
stream they can view, like they will be on viewing. So they are very supportive, and I mean a lot of my time it is busy because I feel like I meet with people all day long, but like my time is really my own at work, and so I just have an alarm set on my phone of like when I'm gonna eat food. So
Yeah.
because I take my food to work with me, and then I'll just grab my food whenever I need to eat it. But it hasn't really been too difficult to do both things. I mean, definitely, bodybuilding is a hobby for me, and so you know, definitely got to find that balance of
Right.
getting all the things done. But it hasn't been a struggle to where it's too insanely crazy to do either one. Like, yep, maybe I got to have a meal 30 or 45 minutes earlier than typically what I would like to do. But it's really just planning out the day. But I've been doing it for a minute, so I feel like I got it going okay.
Right. You're a professional for a reason. You like that top 3 spot every time for a reason. Seriously.
Well, another thing that I would like to talk about is your training. As
Mhm.
you are strong.
Seriously.
Squats and them deadlifts. So a little bit about that. How'd you get into that, type of training? Have you thought about powerlifting?
Well, I did think about powerlifting. It was a bucket list thing that I wanted to do. So my husband, he was competing in powerlifting whenever I met him, and I was like, maybe this is the time that I do a powerlifting meet, since it was a bucket list thing. So I did a powerlifting meet in 2018 as an off season to bodybuilding. And the results that I saw from like my physique in going into my 2018 shows, I think I did the Arnold after that. Yeah, because the powerlifting that I did was in December, and then I did the Arnold in March. And my physique going into the Arnold, the 2000, I guess 18 or 19 Arnold, because the one that was, has been my favorite look to date. And so I really do think that there is something to being able to lift like that heavy weight, and that it's beneficial for us as competitors, even though it's not powerlifting. So, plus it's just kind of fun to, lift heavy, big, strong weights. So, I mean, I just enjoy lifting heavy. So that's
Yeah.
I do it,
And
and I
it
think
fits your personality too, because you're so competitive. You can compete against yourself every day. You did 285 for 6 yesterday, so now let's do 290 today for 5, whatever. So I'm right there with you. You're very, very competitive. So this training style works for you. And clearly, with your Linda Murray look, golly, I love that look. Seriously, that was the best look by far. How do you feel, coming back from the Olympia with that placing, and then coming back with the new coach and everything, and then securing your spot for this year?
So after this last year's Olympia, I mean that was a doozy for me for sure. And there was so much that I like went into what I was feeling after the Olympia. For me, because I do truly do bodybuilding because like I love it and I enjoy it. But then I also still feel that or in my opinion, I feel like there are still expectations. And I don't want to let like my sponsors down. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to let my friends and family and like people at work down because I've sacrificed and like had to say, hey, I can't do
Yes.
this and we can't do that because of
Mm-hmm.
me trying to get to the stage and do well. So and then being top 3 for the 3 years in a row before that, there was just like
Exactly.
that expectation of, all right, you got to at least get third, if not win. No one's going to Olympians saying I want third.
Right. Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
like I mean, third is fantastic and like over the moon about it, but you're always there because you want to
Right.
win.
Everybody goes there to win. We know. You don't. You can actually say it. You're competitive as heck. You want to be the best at everything that you do, so you're going there to win. So we
Yeah.
understand completely.
Yeah. So, and then like, okay, so then I was at first call out and I was like, oh no. And then I don't even remember what call out I was at that point. I don't know, second, third. I knew it wasn't first.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I was just like, what happened? Because to me, it
Yeah.
was, I was so excited to get on stage and like, I loved my look. And I mean, I thought I was going to win.
Yeah. Of course.
And
Of
so then to
course.
like not even be in the first call out, I was like, whew, okay, let's reel this back
Yeah.
and figure out what
Yeah.
went on. So then I got off stage, and it was just you have that like feeling of disappointment because now I had just felt like I let so many people down who were rooting for me for the Olympia and cheering for me. Obviously, that was not the case. Like a little
Yeah.
probably a little too hard on myself in that sense, but it definitely like relit a fire in me though. So I think that's the one positive thing about not getting what you want is that it kind of like reignites like that initial fire and definitely pushed me to work harder. I don't know if harder is the correct word, but I guess be more intentional and have more of that focus of what the goal is. So I think that I gained that coming out of the Olympia. So prepping for Atlanta, I mean, I don't know that I've ever been more focused in the prep
Okay.
than going into Atlanta because it was like, I knew that I wasn't going to like, with everything that we had happening this year that I shared with you guys, I knew that I was not going to be able to do show after show after show after show
Mm-hmm.
to try and qualify for the Olympia. So, it was like, I'll do Atlanta. And then since we had moved to Texas, it was also around the same time of, there were like two shows near Texas or in Texas. And I was like, all right, and then maybe one of these, but like, I can't compete for, the rest of the year to try and get the Olympia qualification. So I don't remember the last time that I had that much pressure going into a show.
Yeah.
Because even with the Olympias, it was like, obviously you want to win, but, even being third, I was like, oh my goodness, like, that's amazing. Like, I was third at the Olympia.
Yes. Yes.
And, you don't have that pressure of defending a title if you don't have the title. So having the pressure of, I got to win this show because I don't know that I'm going to be able to do another show, but I do know that I want to be back on the Olympia stage.
Mm-hmm.
So, that show I haven't had that pressure in a minute. But I am super excited that I did the show, super excited at the look that I got. I started working with Ben Pollock. He's a professional bodybuilder as well, but he is also very into like powerlifting. I'm sure he's very strong. So I started working with him after the Olympia to do training plans for me because I wanted someone who is knowledgeable in both sports and also still had an emphasis on like strength athletes. Just because like my physique after that powerlifting that I did in 2018 like was just insane to me. So I started working with him after the Olympia to like help my body get to the look that I'm trying to go for, and it's been fantastic. Like being able to have someone else do my programming for me with going into the gym, that I can literally just pull up an Excel sheet and do a
Mm-hmm.
workout and not think, well, should I go heavier? Should I not go heavier? Should I do this lift? Should I not do that lift? And it's just been a really good combo working with Shelby and Ben since this last year's Olympia. I think we definitely made some improvements and changes.
Uh, okay, so this is a good question. So they thought that you looked great at last Olympia. They wanted to know what your feedback was. Was it because you felt like you were too lean?
So I got feedback of too lean, but I also got feedback that I had lost size compared to the previous year's Olympia. So it was, yeah. So
Okay.
that was the feedback that I got was
Wow.
it was too lean, but then also that I had lost size from the previous Olympia.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think maybe I could have possibly gone a little bit off the deep end with conditioning a little bit. Um,
I love it. I seriously do. Because I feel you. Like, seriously, why? Because that's like making yourself work not as hard. You can't go as hard as you want to go because you can't, you have to move up. You would have to move up for that type of conditioning. And that's just what it is. But I know it sucks for you because you want to be able to do whatever you want to do in 1 hour and beat yourself every time. You know, you're that person
mhm.
that is just competitive with everything. And that's awesome. And that's why you are top three every time.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see the conditioning thing. So,
Yeah. You know what? Will in my humble opinion as well, I can totally understand the conditioning thing. I get it. That's what I supposedly got dinged to. Is the conditioning is a little too. I don't feel like you lost. I don't. But you still look amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just my personal opinion. But
well, thank you.
Yeah, you look girl. I wish. Give it to me. Give me a little bit of that conditioning, man. I love it for sure. Goodness, how is your husband with everything? You know, with the move and all of that. With y'all, how is married life? You know, outside of how are you still able to? Are y'all able to date, or is like, can you not date right now because you have so much going on? You know, with just completing your exam and with everything. Do y'all still have time for each other?
Yeah, so I, like, I don't not do cheat meals and stuff during prep. I'm kind of fortunate to be able to have
thank you.
short prep,
Right?
but then also like I check in with Shelby every 3 days, and so sometimes he's it's like a Tuesday, and he's like, "You want to have a free meal, 1,400 calories? Go for it." So,
Wow. Yeah.
so we definitely take advantage of when I am able to have the cheat meals, and they're pretty frequent. Like I'm not going for a month without a cheat meal, so we definitely take advantage of that. But then my husband, he also enjoys like being outside and going on walks and stuff like that. So it's things that I can do already.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot of fitness related things to be able to spend time together as well. Go to the gym at the same time, sometimes work out together. So we just find a way to make it work for us.
Good,
That's great.
because that's
Always
very
good.
important too. What? You broke
I,
up.
no, I said it's always good when you actually have a good support system. I mean,
Oh yeah, exactly. And then we don't talk about the support system enough because a lot of people don't realize how much our support system is there and how much they're literally in prep with us. So it's
Hmm.
good that he can be so supportive, and it is fortunate that you can get those cheat meals so frequently, so y'all can enjoy each other's company, especially as newlyweds. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
wow. Okay, so any plans to do anything before the Olympia?
Absolutely not. I'm way too busy.
Now hold on, wait. Before we try to wrap this up, this sounds. Tell us where your struggles are. Where do you struggle? Because I know you're very determined. You're gonna make it happen no matter what. But we all face a little bit of struggles. Whether that's, man, I'm so tired and I'm not a morning person. Don't talk to me. Like that's me. Even my kids. Can y'all wait until like 10 a.m. to say hi, mommy? No, okay, whatever. But where do your struggles lie?
I mean, I have to work very hard at managing my time just because there is so much that I want to get done in a day that like it's just a lot. So, like I said, I really do have alarms on my phone for like literally each meal, what time I'm gonna eat those meals. Planning out, do I need to go to work earlier today so that I can be off by a certain time because there's also traffic, or it's a leg day, so my workout's gonna be a lot longer. Or hey, I also still need to find some like have time to spend with my husband this evening. Or like, so it gets to be a lot to try to
Yeah.
like manage all the things to get done in a day. plus like right now is kind of like the busiest I am all year from like a work standpoint, which
Mm-hmm.
being working for retail, and it's almost holiday season. So that is like if I had to pick one thing, like because I want to get everything done that needs to get done. So trying to
Yeah,
get
not
all the
enough
stuff
hours in the
done
day.
more into the day.
Right. It's good to be busy though. It's really good to be busy because you don't want to be bored. Then that's whenever you start doing things you're not supposed to do. So that's awesome that you have the alarms, you know, and you're very planned and wise to know that you need an alarm for everything so that you can fit as much in one day as you can. So that's good.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's definitely something that people should look into as well if they feel like their schedule is a little over the place and trying to get their meals in on top of their work or whatever you might be doing. You got crazy dogs.
I love him. Is that Dante?
Well, no, over. But no, that having set alarms, something that people should probably take into more consideration. It would probably really help out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Sure that everything's getting done.
Yeah. Especially if you struggle with eating, you know, if you forget to eat a lot, because that's a lot of people's problem is that they literally forget to eat their food or they don't plan it out enough, you know, so they end up not eating. If you have that alarm on, it won't shut up until you stop it and you're forced to read what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
I'm going to do that. I'm stealing your idea. Just write it down really quick.
Well, we definitely want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. You're busy. Just to come on and talk a little bit about yourself and let the other ladies in here a little bit more about you, because we had no idea, being the whole background, actually doing the show, and what your work's like. So thank you so much for actually taking the time to talk to us.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Seriously, and it goes to show that you literally can have a regular job and be very, very, very successful as a professional athlete. You don't have to be a personal trainer. You know, you don't have to be in the fitness industry to be successful. You literally show that. And with whatever struggles you have, you literally make it work. Before we let you go, though, can you give our viewers and your fans a little bit of wisdom? You know, if they're struggling with anything with their prep, or they're losing motivation, you know, and they're just trying to see if they should even compete or continue their journey.
Yeah. So I think the one thing that I always think about is having a strong why, especially with competing. A lot of the stuff I use through like all aspects of life, but specifically with competing, if you don't have a strong why, the slightest inconvenience or, hey, I don't really want to do something will take you out anytime. So, like, having that why that you started competing and holding on to that and, like, grasping whenever you don't feel like going to the gym or you don't feel like eating that meal or you want to eat that cake.
Right.
Having that foundation of bringing you back to why it is that you're doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you so much, Nadia. Seriously, for coming on and talking to us, because like now we really know how busy you are. We're not going to keep you too much longer. We want to say thank you to everybody as well for viewing and continue to like our stuff, post our stuff, and continue to watch and share everything. We're going to have another special guest coming on this week, so stay tuned for that. And we will talk to everybody soon. Thank you again, Nadia. We'll see y'all later.
See ya. Thank you.
Thank you.